Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I am doing a full face of first impressions. There are a lot of products I've gotten over the past couple months that I just have not tested yet. So I want to take today and test some of those products with you to live this fall fantasy. I know, count how many times in my last video, especially, I said the words fall fantasy. I was just stuck on it and still am on that phrase. So if you like fall, if you like makeup, if you just want to hang out and put me on in the background, great, love it all. Keep on watching. Before we get too far into the video, if you've not already, I would love it if you consider subscribing to my channel. I make new videos 2 times a week. Sometimes they're more makeup, sometimes they're more lifestyle or beauty, and it is totally free to subscribe. And if you are subscribed, make sure you click the bell so that you get notifications every time I upload. And with that, we're gonna rewind the clock a little bit and go to me with no makeup. Let's get started. All right, so excuse the hair. I promise we will fix it before the end. In fact, you're gonna see in the intro I fixed it. But we are going to start with the Wet n Wild Impossible Primer. So some of the items in this video are going to be a little bit newer releases. Some of them have been out for some time, just depends on the product. Now this product I got because of Tati Westbrook. She talked about this on her channel and talked about how it was really good for basically blurring the pores without being that silicone feeling on your face that I hate. Think like the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. I don't like that at all, that kind of feeling. I just used up, I think, all my primers like that, so hopefully this one isn't. Oh, nope, it is not. It is definitely not. It's kind of solid feeling. I should have shown you how it was on my finger. Ooh, but it's also, it's like melting, and when it's melting, it's feeling like water, honestly. Interesting. I don't think I've ever felt a primer quite like this before. Huh. I almost feel like I need a little bit more. I did kind of like a pea size to start with. I'll show you how it comes out kind of like solid thick here on my finger. So that's what it comes out as, kind of just like a glob, but it's pretty solid. I don't know. I'm not mad at how it feels. I don't see my pores looking blurred initially, and I have big pores, but we'll see. It does have, I just noticed, kind of like a slight coconut scent, which I love coconut, but if you don't like that scent, you might not like this product. It doesn't look like it has anything coconut related in the ingredients though, so it's probably just a fragrance that they've used. So this says it mattifies and hydrates. It definitely feels hydrating, blurs pores, prep skin for lasting makeup, silicone free. So those are the claims. Like I said, I see my pores 100%, but I definitely feel hydrated, so that's good. So we'll see once we put on the foundation how we feel about that. For foundation, we are using the Stila Hide and Chic Fluid Foundation in shade Fair 2. Hopefully the shade matches. Have never tried any foundation or facial products whatsoever from Stila. I've only ever used those like eye shimmery things that they're known for. So we'll see how this goes. Let me dab it on my face a little bit here, and then as I'm blending it out, I can read to you guys like the claims. I mostly just got this because I was curious about Stila's complexion products. The price was right on this. It was on sale for $10.99. And I kind of like the claims. And they had a shade I thought would work for me, which sometimes it's hard to find stuff in my shade. Like, I really would like to try the new Catrice Foundation that Tati has basically sold out, but I can't find it anywhere in my shade at all. So this says that it's discreet, undetectable coverage without the heavy weight. It definitely felt light even just dabbing it on. Light liquid texture, comfortable, cushioned with a silky, breathable feel. It felt very liquidy, definitely almost borderline watery on my finger, not thick at all. It said there are nurturing botanicals that help energize the skin for a healthier looking, more refined, even toned complexion. What are these botanicals? I don't know. They don't really say. light to medium buildable, so we're not looking for full coverage here, and it's supposed to be a natural satin finish. So I thought this would be good for me for like an everyday foundation when I'm not wanting to go full coverage, full glam, but just something to, you know, cover the redness and even out my complexion, because I do have a lot of redness typically. I would definitely agree with the light to medium statement. I think it's more light than medium. Maybe we could build it up, but I also don't want it to look cakey. The primer, I think, minimized my pores a little, but I've seen other primers that have done better. So I'm not super impressed with that Wet n Wild primer, just on first impressions. Sorry, Tati. No, that was your recommendation, but I don't know. And then like these, you can still see the acne peeking through probably on my skin there, because I do have some scarring going on here that's still peeking through. But again, it's light to medium coverage, so that's to be expected. The skin looks good though, like my texture's not emphasized or anything like that, so that's good. So I don't hate it. It'll kind of depend to how it lasts, so we'll see how we go throughout the video, and it kind of depends how other products layer on top of it as to whether I'm gonna like it or not, so we shall see. Next up, I'm testing out an item for my mom. So she wanted something concealer wise that was, how did she put it? Full coverage, but like moisturizing, hydrating. So she doesn't want crepey under eyes. We both struggle with that. So from Seeking Alexandria's channel, I got the Wet n Wild Mega Last Incognito Concealer, and I got mine in shade Fair. This is one she says is full coverage without really drying out or making your under eyes look crepey. So we will see today, won't we, friends? It's one of these like super flat wands. It's not like a doe foot necessarily. Like it's not like a, what do I want to say, like angled or pointed. A lot of product comes out, I will say. Looks pretty thick. Hopefully it doesn't get cakey, but that's what we're here to find out, isn't it? I'm not planning on going anywhere today, so it's not like the end of the world if this doesn't turn out great, which is kind of the days I like to do first impression videos on, just in case. Just using a little bit of that to try to cover some of my blemishes too. I don't know how well it's going to work out for me, because I did pick a shade, as you can see, that's lighter than my skin tone to kind of highlight a little bit. I'm going to take a medium angled shading brush. This is from Farrah, their 55E. This is what I've been liking lately to blend out my concealer with. I think it's technically an eyeshadow brush, but use the tools that work for you, am I right? I got this brush in an Ipsy bag like a month or two ago and tried it out. It looked like a good shape for this and I really liked it. Alright, it already looks like there's a little separation on my nose. I don't know if that's the primer, the foundation, or the concealer. That is the downside of this videos, is if things don't play nicely together, you don't necessarily know which things aren't playing nice together because you don't have experience with the products yet. So, ooh, yeah, I so far do not like how this looks on the under eyes. Sorry, Seeking Alexandria, but this looks bad. Honestly, it looks bad. I'm gonna try to finish blending it out as much as I can. It's not wanting to blend out very much. And then I'll zoom in and show you. It's a texture thing that's the problem for me right now. Totally forgot to, I wanted to use this First Aid Detox Eye Roller before I started to try to hydrate a little bit. So maybe that would give this product, this concealer, more of a fair chance, but I totally forgot to use that, so I'll have to try it another time. Alright, I'm going to show you real up and close here with the under eye. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? It just looks like it's crepey in here to me. Do you agree or not? Like, it looks like it's settling into all of my fine lines here and kind of accentuating them, which if it's doing it on me, then this is definitely not going to be a good recommendation for my mom. And I don't know if you can see, but like right here, it just looks like it's all separating. I know my nose is like crooked, so I almost have to tilt my head so it looks straight for you guys, but I don't, it just is separating weird. and I'm not a fan. I'm gonna try to powder it to see if that does anything for us. Yep, I don't think powdering helps, so that's not my favorite. I'll try it again, just because like I said, I could just be having like a dry eye day that I needed to moisturize or prep a little bit better than I did, but not a win for me so far. All right, let's move on to the rest of the face. So I got from Becca the Sunsetter face palette, and this is gonna be our bronzer, blush, and highlighter today. So I'm gonna go in and use, this is shimmery, so I don't usually like shimmery bronzer, but I wanted to try some more face products from Becca. Well, face products in general. The only thing I've ever tried from Becca is an eyeshadow palette from them. I actually used it to compare to some other shades and some other indie brands. If you haven't seen that video yet, I will leave it linked in the cards for you. I will say at least the shade looks pretty nice on me. It's a little red, but it's not orange. But I think it will blend nicely with the blush that's included in here. I am going really lightly though with the bronzer, just because I don't want it to look too shimmery. Sometimes shimmery bronzers emphasizes my textures here. That's why I'm not a huge fan of it. It's not that I don't like the shimmer, I just don't like the texture. But honestly, even though it looks pretty shimmery in the pan, I don't see any shimmer whatsoever on the face. Like, it looks not matte, but I would say it looks satin. So I like that more than I thought I would actually. All right, next I'm gonna go in with the big pan of blush here. And the bronzer was the shade Gold Trotter, by the way, and this is shade Calypso Coral. I'm not sure if you can get these shades as singles or separates outside of this palette, so I'll list it just in case. Although, if you don't know already, Becca is going out of business. So that was partially why I picked this up too, because I was like, okay, this is like a last chance situation because they are going out of business. All right, well, things are layering nicely, I'll say that much. So that's good. Maybe we can save the complexion yet. What do you think? Does it look better than it did? The under eyes, they're still not my favorite, but maybe as my skin warms up the product a little bit more, it'll improve. That does happen sometimes to me as well. I don't know about you guys. I'm gonna take a little bit of this highlighter. This is in shade Escapist, this one down here. Gonna get a different brush. Forgot my highlighter brush in the other room and I don't wanna get it, so I'm just gonna use my Morphe M441 eyeshadow brush because that's what's in here with me. Ooh, that is a nice little subtle highlight. You see just right here, it's just a nice little glow that it's added. That's nice. Sometimes I like just a nice little subtle glow instead of the blinding highlight. Don't get me wrong, I like the blinding highlight too, but subtle's good sometimes. Hey, so I think that base palette is a win. I like that so far. That was good. Good. I was getting worried after like the primer and the foundation and the concealer were all kind of wah-wah, so at least we got a good face palette. I'm gonna go ahead and do my eyebrows. I don't have anything new. I'm just using my normal IT Cosmetics brow powder pencil and my Femme Couture Perfect Arch Clear Brow Gel. Just using what I already have, trying to use up what I have. So I'm gonna do that off camera real quick and I will be back. All right, so we've got brows. So while I was doing my brows and I'm just looking at my complexion more and more, I think it is the concealer that's the issue with the combo here, because it's the places on my face where I use the concealer that it seems to be breaking up already. Like here on my chin, you know, on those acne spots, down my nose, right here in the center of my forehead, like over here, the cheeks, all of that. That seems to be fine and not disturbed, so I think it's that Wet n Wild concealer that's a no-go for me. I think the foundation and the primer I can make work, so ooh, I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure something out with that concealer. It's not looking good. But today I decided to go ahead and go in with the Melt 420 palette. I bought this a while ago. I've talked about it a few times. In fact, it was one of the palettes that I recommended for my Fall Palettes 2021. I'll link that video in the cards as well if you haven't seen it, but I thought, you know, we should bust this out if we're recommending it, right? So I am gonna start with this shade Hash here on the end, just a little cool tone, going in with my Morphe 441 brush. And I did prime my eyes. Ooh, super pigmented. Was not expecting that. My first experience, guys, with Melt Cosmetics formula. So there's a little bit of a learning curve here, but that's why this is a first impressions video. I did prime my eyes with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus eyeshadow primer. I use that one pretty much every day and I really like it. So that is not a new element to this video. It's a bit darker than I expected it to be. I just wanted like a little transition shade, but we kind of got a bit more. It packs a punch. All right, I'm gonna go in with Roll It, this deeper brown, and I'm barely gonna touch it on this Morphe JS6 brush. Now that I know it's pretty pigmented, I'm just gonna try to build up the outer corners ever so slightly for some dimension. I feel like these are blending okay. I know this is the Melt palette that a lot of people say is terrible, but as I mentioned in my fall palette video, Batty Bean said it was okay and she got it, and I trust her recommendations and taste, so we're trying it. I want a little bit of an orangey vibe to go with my lips, so I'm going to use this shade Full Melt, and I'm going to try to put that across the rest of the lid here. I'm going to take my finger in the one shimmer here, Shatter, and just tap a bit of that in the center of the lid. So far I like this palette, you guys. Like, I don't know if it's like, wow, I've never tried anything like this quality in my entire life, but I don't think it's bad. I mean, I've never tried any other Melt palettes to know like the comparison of, maybe this is trash in comparison to the other ones, but I'm not sure. The shimmer is not really giving me as much pizzazz as I had hoped. Maybe it's one that needs a little bit of a spritz or a glitter spray, but that's okay. I don't want, I guess, too much pizzazz today with this look anyway. And then I'm going to take an M508, again in that same Roll It shade that we used to deepen the outer corner. I'm just going to use that shade to do a line. Holy fallout. I even tapped it off. Good things it brushes away. Maybe this is what they were talking about as far as it being bad quality. The fallout, I don't know. Let's try again. I tapped my brush before I put it on my eye too. That is a color I do not want all over my face, even though my complexion is not looking my favorite today. Yeah, it still has fallout and I'm tapping it off a lot. That's not great. Perhaps this would be a palette to do your eyes first and your complexion second to avoid that. I will say so far I've been taking my little blush brush here, and all of the fallout that's gone down on my face, it has wiped away and not smeared, so that's a plus. Big plus, because it would just be ruined if it would smear. I think that might be where I leave it today with the eyes. What do you guys think? Fall vibes. If you have this palette or any of these products, by the way, that I'm using in this video, let me know down in the comments below. What's your experience been with them? Do you like them? Do you hate them? I would love to know if some of these, like if it's just my personal experience I'm having or if you experience similar things. Alright, I'm going to curl my lashes as I always do before mascara, and I am going to be using the Milk Makeup Kush Mascara. I will, spoiler alert, tell you that I have used this a few times this week already. It was sent to me by Influencer, which is awesome, and I've been testing it out. And so far I really like how it makes my lashes look, but I will say I have had some issues with it transferring to the brow bone and transferring underneath my eyes and making me look a little raccoon-ish. So far this is a good mascara for like if I just want it to look good but not last a long time. But it has not necessarily held up on days I need it to, and there's been transferring like I said, and that's not great, so it's not my favorite, but like I said, it does make my lashes look very nice, short term at least. Like you can already see in one coat. Hopefully you can see there it's starting to coat the lashes, and I think this looks great if you build it up a little bit. Like, that's just the one coat, but I'm gonna go in and do 2 to 3 coats per eye to really get it up to the volume that I want for my lashes. If you were wondering, my lashes are starting to grow back too on this eye from my terrible incident with my eyelash curler. I did get my Lash Food collagen overnight treatment in the mail from the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty, and I've been using that at night religiously, and I truly do feel like that helps to grow your lashes if you're someone looking for a little extra help in the natural lash department. Alright, so I'm going to leave the lower lash line just clean, bare today, but here's the mascara. I think you guys can see my lashes pretty well. I'll give you a nice little up the nose shot so you can hopefully see the lashes. These are my natural lashes, just curled and with that Milk Makeup mascara. And to finish off this look, we're going to go into the Autumn Trio from Black Moon Cosmetics. I've talked about this in my What's New and What's Through in my collection series, but I haven't actually used these yet, which is a shame because they look gorgeous. So here's the trio that comes in, and with the eye shade that I used, like in this eye look, I think I could get away with either Harvest, this more orangey one, or Cider, this more yellow one. I wish I could pull you live. I think I'm gonna go more for the yellow one. I've done, not super recently, but I know there's a video on my channel because I know a lot of you commented about my orange lipstick from Ofra in Spell. So I'm gonna go more like yellowy toned. Smells really good, smells really sweet, kind of like that vanilla liquid lipstick scent a lot of brands do. Very watery and liquidy. Alright, so I'm going to let that dry down a minute, go zhuzh my hair a bit, and I will be back with final thoughts. Alright guys, and here is the final look. Just rocking some second day curls here. Tried to zhuzh them up a little bit to give them another day of life. And what do we think of the look today? I love this lip. I know it's not for everybody. It's not... I guess it is, it's kind of neutral, but it's got like that muddy undertone. I really think it goes well with the eye look. Yes. So let's go through the products really quickly and do a little bit of a wrap up. The Wet n Wild primer, I would try that again, as well as the Stila foundation. They were okay. I didn't see anything great about them. I didn't see anything bad about them. Just okay. So we'll see how those go. The concealer is bad. It was really bad. I'm gonna have to try to figure out how to use that. Like I said before, it might just be a matter of I need to hydrate, especially my under eyes, but my whole face a lot better. But I don't know, because that Wet n Wild primer said it was supposed to be hydrating, and it felt hydrating, so that could just be a fail. Could also be the ingredients in that Wet n Wild Incognito Sealer just didn't play nice with this foundation. Maybe with a different foundation and primer it would work better. I will try it again. I'll try all of these products again. I mean, I bought them. I'm not just going to throw them in the trash after one time. Becca Sunsetter Face Palette was a win for me. I really do like that it provided some glow and color without emphasizing my texture, which powders do sometimes. Even the highlighter, it's nice and subtle, but doesn't emphasize texture like some of the more blinding ones do. The Melt Eyeshadow Palette. Love the color story, absolutely. We'll use it again. Might want to do the eyes first, though there was an insane amount of fallout even with me tapping the brush off. But honestly, it was only in that one color that I noticed that happening. Color I was using to deepen up the outer third, and that color is the same color I used to make my winged liner. That was the only color I was having real issues with fallout on. The others weren't bad. So be curious to see what the like more green side of the palette looks like in the yellows, since I used more of just like the more browny kind of orangey undertone shades today. I want to use that shimmer with a glitter primer or a spray next time to see like how much pizzazz can I get out of that, because like, can you even see I'm wearing a shimmer in the middle of my lid? Probably not too much. That was kind of lackluster. The mascara is great. Like I said, I already know though that has some issues with transferring sometimes. And this lip, I can't stop like doing this because it was so liquidy when it went on that I was like, oh no, is this like gonna dry down enough, or is it gonna be one of those that moves all over and it's a bold color and it's, you know, streaked across your face and just bad news bears. But it dried down, but it is not drying. It doesn't feel like one of those liquid lipsticks that you're like, water. It's not like that at all. It feels very comfortable. It really almost feels like there's nothing on my lips, which is great. I did overline a little bit on the top lip. I like to do that just to make my lips look a little more even and full. But overall, I think the look turned out okay. The under eyes are still not great, but like from far back you can't tell. So I'm not going anywhere today. It's okay, I guess. So let me know what you think of the look and your opinions on any of the products, brands I used in this video in the comments down below. I'm looking forward to hearing and responding to all of you. With that, I will wrap this video up and I cannot wait to see you again in the next one. Bye!